Tonight, it's Madden NFL football. It's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills taking on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. This goes out wide from Nixon. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Allen now looks to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the Bengals. Will take over here, 1st and 10.
Here we go. 8, 10, 10. 11.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
We always talk about, we always look for guys with fresh legs down the stretch of a long NFL season. Well, in Week 16, he was the AFC Player of the Week, and looks like he's going to be strong for Week 17 as well.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. A big connection on that one. 33 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. From the 2, here's 1st and goal. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Touchdown! A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. 2 division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. Allen going to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Ed Oliver in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. On play action, Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
This defense for the Bengals, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. They were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, this team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. And now here's a carry heading left. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
54 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 44-yard line. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Eluding the pressure right.
He will find his man Chase complete.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Now they try the right side here. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff as they run left side. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
So, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And it's now 14-0.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Bills ready to take over.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Ed Oliver, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Allen going deep for Diggs. He's got him in, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
He spun right around one defender, but it only winds up gaining about 3, and it's 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A handoff to Mixon. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. 2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. That's complete to John Ross. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 31-yard line. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
On 2nd and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 19th touchdown now of the season. And the Bills draw a bit closer. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and it's now 21-7.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. From the gun, it's Allen. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. To the air, Allen. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
And that's patience to be admired right there, because he looks left, looks right, and waits for the right guy to come open, spots him in the middle of the field, and delivers.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Now Allen. Working the middle here, that's complete to Knox, the tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Allen going to go on 4th down. And completes it to the tight end, Knox. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Again, they'll throw with Allen. Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. And this one is right through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where it was the home team who were able to hold serve and get a victory in their stadium. Drew Lock, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And they were winners in that game over the visiting Detroit Lions. Tua Tagovailoa, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. And then finally, a good one on Monday Night Football between the LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
They go play action with Burrow. Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that he can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 209 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule,
open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. T. Higgins. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Bengals come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
You're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And meanwhile, Allen's throw taken in by Diggs. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Allen's throw is complete, but I think the ball's out, and the Bengals grab it. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
It reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A big play there. 58 yards. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ball game. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And they will be in the playoffs as champs of the AFC East. But as it stands right now, Charles, they still would have to host a game on Wild Card Weekend because they're still looking up at that #1 seed.
And that's when you tell your team, remember, guys, at the beginning of the season, what was our deal? Let's win our division and get to the playoffs. That was job 1. Let's not get greedy about the whole thing, because whether or not they end up with a first-round bye or not, you and I both know this team's going to be a tough out in the playoffs.
To throw again on second down. Allen. Open man is Ross, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Second down and 5. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Here's Allen. Left side caught by Diggs. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Ed Oliver in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. After the sack on first down, Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From midfield, here's Allen. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. One final try here for Allen. Oh, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big gain there for the Bills. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it,
and he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. Dawson Knox, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bills get a bit closer. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
On 2nd and goal, Burrow. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Touchdown, Bengals. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Bengals are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. Allen. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Allen. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Allen to throw once more. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And a gain of 5. And it'll make it a 2nd down. Here's Allen to throw it. Finding Knox there, complete.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Allen. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Allen. Going deep for Diggs. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A big gain there for the Bills.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
And they've used him in the passing game to great effect so far. And here they get it to him again on the screen. And it turns into a nice positive play.
2nd down and goal. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Ed Oliver, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. That one looks like he'll throw here. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down. Burrow once again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Cincinnati, they have indeed reached a perfect 16-0, but now still one game remains before they join the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to finish a regular season unbeaten. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.